So in this video, we're going to look at order of operations with whole numbers and exponents. And so the thing that usually people remember about order of operations is one of the acronyms to help you remember it. So there's kind of the, or the mnemonic, there's the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or Pemdas, and Pemdas happens to be the one that more people tend to remember. So I'm going to write Pemdas a little bit differently than you may have seen it written before. So rather than just write P-E-M-D-A-S, I'm going to write it P-E-M-D and then A-S. And that's because the order of operations says we're going to do parentheses first, then we're going to take care of any exponents, then we're going to do multiplication and division in order from left to right. And then we're going to do addition and subtraction in order from left to right. So the important part here is that multiplication and division both happen at the same time, and addition and subtraction both happen at the same time. So let's look at some examples here. So simplify. A. 6 times 2 to the 4th divided by 4. So if we look at this problem here, I don't have any parentheses. I do have an exponent. I have an exponent of 4, and it's attached to the 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is that part right here. So 2 to the 4th, it means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Or you could punch it in on your calculator. Any of those would work. And then I'm going to bring down the other pieces. So I still have 6 times 16 divided by 4. And so now, if I look, I have multiplication and division, right? And I want to do it in order from left to right. So if I start on the left-hand side, the first thing I see is 6 times 16. So we're going to do 6 times 16, and that is 96. So we're going to have, oops, need the pen, 96 divided by 4. And so then 96 divided by 4 gives us 24. So we'll do a couple more here. So part B, I have 8 plus 5 squared times 2. So again, if you look, I don't have any parentheses. The first thing I have is this exponent part. So the 5 squared, that means 5 times 5, which is 25. Bring down the other pieces. So 8 plus 25 times 2. So now, if I look at this, I'm looking for multiplication and division. So starting on the left-hand side, I don't have any, so this is addition, so we're going to ignore it for right this second. Then here I have multiplication, 25 times 2. So that's going to be the first thing I do, is this 25 times 2. So 25 times 2 is 50. So I have 8 plus 50. And 8 plus 50 is 58. So I have one last example here. So we're going to have 32 minus 6 minus 4 raised to the 4th power divided by 2. So if I look at this problem, the first thing I do is I have a set of parentheses. So I'm going to figure out what that is. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So this is going to turn into 2 being raised to the 4th power. So I have 32 minus 2 to the 4th divided by 2. The next part, if I go through, so I did my parentheses. Now I'm going to do my exponents. So I have a 2 to the 4th. Notice that the negative is not in parentheses, so I'm not going to be raising the negative to the 4th power. So 2 to the 4th, we just did already in part A. 2 to the 4th is 16. So this becomes 16. So I have 32 minus 16 divided by 2. And now I look for any multiplication or division. So if I start on the left-hand side, I have 32 minus, that's not multiplication or division, but then I have 16 divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. So now we have 32 minus 8, and 32 minus 8 gives us 24. So the final answer here is 24. So it's the same order of operations, it's just that now that we know exponents, we'll see some exponents in our problems.